What's up, guys? Can you hear me? Please, somebody in the chat, let me know if this thing is working, because this is very, very, very new to me. And there's multiple screens here, and this isn't a stream about live streaming, but inherently, this is my first go at this. And you guys, the phone controls the stream. Just hats off to the video game industry and live streaming video games, because all of their software, hardware, phone apps are actually very easy to use. Thank you. The stream is going insane. Awesome. Thank you guys for letting me know. Wow. This is my heart's kind of racing because my computer like crashed right before this. So if the screen goes black, I apologize. This is our first go at it. I have a high horsepower computer here. I am ramping up my internet speed. I'm working with the city right now. I got a little bit more internet for this particular stream tonight. And they're actually putting fiber optics into my house here shortly too. So like, hopefully we can do more of this kind of stuff. So far so good, it sounds like though. Awesome. Thank you, Dan, Scott, Matt, everybody's in the house. Awesome. All right, so this is working. So I'm hoping that I can bring more content to the channel by doing some live streaming. I don't really have like time to edit more than one video per week, but I do want to provide more content onto the channel. So I've been kind of experimenting with live streaming stuff. So this is really the first test on that. And in my mind, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking that I want to do live streams that are like maybe practice tree sessions. I have like some thoughts, like possibly, having like a big Wheel of Fortune type thing that you spin, and then it has like different like practice tree like games or challenges or something like that on it, and we'll do a little live stream, and that will decide what we do, and then we do it live, because I really want to do more practice tree activity this off season, like for my personal self, for my racing program. But the practice tree just seems it seems too easy, like relative to actual racing. Like there's not that pressure there. Can you guys relate? Down in the chat here, do you guys feel like doing the practice tree is not as hard as doing it on the racetrack? I feel that, but what I have experienced is doing a practice tree exercise while live streaming kind of ups it a little bit. So I want to do more. I want to do more of that just so that I can get better on the tree, right? I feel like that's a much better way to actually replicate a real race. So Dragster 7286 agrees. Hayden, you agree. Everybody pretty much agrees. Steven says this better be good. I was watching SFG. Steven, no promises. You've tuned in to the poop emoji TV. Put those together. It's a PG channel, but that's what this is gonna be. I can't believe the stream is actually working. I'm just happy about that. But we do have some cool things on the agenda here tonight. Real quick though, can somebody in the chat just give me some feedback? Is the volume of my voice, is there music playing in the background? You should be hearing a little bit of background music, and my voice, is that ratio good? Can you hear everything good? I just kind of want to make sure that, so if somebody in the chat can say, yeah, sound is good, or music is too loud, music is too soft, that would be super helpful. But the first thing that I kind of wanted to share with you guys, most streamers probably don't do this. I'm going to take the camera off of the tripod and show you guys something. All right, Matt Ebot, Project Leftovers Racing says it's good. Everybody says it's good. Awesome. Awesome. Oh, I'm feeling good. Yeah, the banner. Steven says on the SFG race, if you guys are watching the SFG race, it's a World Series of Bracket Racing from down in Georgia. There's a huge GallStar TV banner in the stands. You can see it just perfect on the stream. Super pumped about that. Thank you, SFG. If anybody's watching, Austin, Kyle, thank you guys so much for putting that banner up. Appreciate it. All right, so check it out, guys. The first thing I want to show you guys, and I'm so glad, Project Leftovers Racing in the house. This is Matt Eba by Graphics at TMK. Let me show you guys something. First of all, I got a button for this. Boom, right there. I made that happen. All right, I'm gonna take the headphones off. I'm gonna actually move you guys on the camera. Like I said, non-traditional stream here. But I do have a little bit of cords. You guys, I have a surprise I want to show you guys. How many times have you seen one of these set up indoors? Look at this thing. Holy. Zoom that baby out just a little bit. We're in my basement, a 10 by 10 canopy. Check it out, you guys. I have a little bit more slack so I can get you some close-ups, but like I said, we're on the big camera here, so I can zoom right in. Check out the GallStar TV canopy. Super pumped about this. You guys, if you are interested in getting something like this for yourself, for your own racing operation, you know, whatever you want to put on it. I don't know what it is. It doesn't have to be racing. Graphics at TMK, gonna make it happen for you. Signs, banners, apparel, decals, all the decals on the side of my car, all of them. Graphics by TMK, and now it's knocked it out of the park. Check it out. Get them performance. Check them out, you guys. Discount code GallStar5. Get yourself 5% off. Again, GallStar5 at Jones Transmission Cooling System. You guys know it. GallStar50. The code here. Hey, share this video. Tell somebody, hey, who needs some new wheels on the back of their hot rod here for the 2021 season. Extremefab.com. Take your current wheels, convert them to beadlocks. You guys know what it is. GallStar50 is the discount code. Dales A1, of course, I'm going to be hitting them up again this winter. Getting the transmission freshened up. K&R Performance Engineering, all the trick bracket racing components. GallStar5 is the discount code. Save yourself some coin. Going to be using a lot of Lucas Oil products, of course. You guys know all about the SFG. You guys are probably wishing you were watching that right now. Maybe we should end this stream or we'll just all go watch SFG, World Series of Bracket Racing. And down there on the end, look at it. TeamRaceSponsorships.net, you guys. GallStar10 is the discount code at racesponsorships.net. That is the, bear with me on the cords here. That is the website where they have all kinds of course material, instructional material for actually gaining marketing partnerships, gaining sponsors, and it's for the grassroots racers. You guys know what it is. GallStar, bear with me. How many times do you see that on a live stream? A canopy in the basement. All right, headphones back on. GallStar10 is the discount code. But what do you guys think about the canopy? See you later, Hayden. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. Man, 2 Haydens. Hayden Park, Hayden Pennington, back to back. What are the chances of that? 2 Haydens on the stream. Thank you guys for tuning in. Awesome. So that was the first thing I wanted to share. That canopy, I won that in a raffle. How awesome is that? Follow Graphics by TMK on Facebook. There'll be somebody put a link. Matt, can you put a link? They let you put links in here? I'll put a link in the description after the stream is over, and get people over to the Facebook page, because you guys, they're doing raffles over there. You guys get yourself something like this, a canopy. It's super awesome. But the next thing I wanted to kind of dive into here is some Q&A stuff. So I have a button for that. Wait, I gotta turn this button off first. I'm learning. How's it going so far? Can I get a thumbs up? Can I get a thumbs up on the stream if you enjoy this? Hayden, yeah, I said your name. All right. Tom, are you going to try to do some races in the Corona Practice Tree Challenge again this winter? Stevie Dustin, my man, yeah, the Corona Practice Tree League. You guys check it out on Facebook. It's the Corona Lockdown Practice Tree Challenge or something like that. There's a Facebook group. I'm going to be getting into that a lot more, because here's the thing. I'm actually, they're way over there. I can't reach them. But I'm actually building a different practice tree rig. Like, I want an actual steering wheel. I want an actual seat, like an actual rig with a full-size practice tree. That's what I'm working on putting together this winter. And that's kind of what I'm putting together, and the live stream part of it, so I can do those two things at the same time. Comment in the chat if you guys think that would be a good idea, if you have interest in watching some content like that. T-Bird Racer 460 checking in from Maryland. Thank you guys so much for tuning up. We're gonna hop into some Q&A questions now. And question number 1. Boom, it's on the screen. Oh, it's working. I love that. I love this little thing. Gosh, that's cool. Chuck Berg, he says weather station logs, ET prediction software. What do you use? So I have one video on my channel, Chuck, if you want to look back in the archives on the channel. There is one video, and it's about family software. So that is the weather software that I use is called family software. And I like it a lot. I cannot really compare it to Crew Chief Pro because I have not tried Crew Chief Pro. I have tried like Ultronic software, and I can say that I do like the family software much, much more. So the family software seems to work very, very well. And basically what it does is it uses mathematics and science only. There's no like averaging or like tables. Like it doesn't just take a whole bunch of data and then it actually takes one of your laps that you pick, just one lap that you pick, and then it back calculates that to like standard temperature and pressure and gives you like a horsepower factor, and then it uses that horsepower correction factor and applies that to the new weather data that you're experiencing like currently, and then it predicts your ET off of that. It's completely different, I think, than like other ET prediction softwares, and I think that's cool. I like that it's math and science driven. I also like that it really only takes one lap for that thing to be effective at predicting your ET. You literally pick one lap and predict off of that. You don't have to have a whole log of runs in your system. So it works really, really well. What I typically do, if I do have a bunch of runs, like if I'm racing at my home track or something like that, and I have a bunch of runs in there, what I typically do is I look for one where I had a 60-foot that I think I'm gonna have the next lap. So I try in my brain, based off of track conditions and time of day and things like that, I try to kind of decide, do I think I'm gonna have a good 60-foot? Am I gonna have a bad 60-foot? Am I gonna be in the middle? I try to kind of guess what I think my 60-foot's going to be, and then I'll scroll through all my laps and I'll pick that one and then I'll predict off of that one. And if I do a good job at kind of predicting my 60-foot, the computer does a great job at predicting my ET. I'm super happy with it. Customer service, top notch. One time I had to call the guys over there at Family Software. It was like 4:30 p.m. on a Saturday, and they answered the phone. It was awesome. So that is what I use. That is what I like to use. Thank you, Chuck, for the question. You guys leave any comments and questions about that. Maybe we can follow up on it in another video. So we got Race. He says it would be neat to see some footage on you working on that practice tree. Yeah, like actually building the rig. I agree. That's kind of in the works too. I ordered some parts and they're taking forever to get here. Basically, I'm thinking it's gonna be like 80-20 extruded aluminum. Do you guys know what that is? It's like super adjustable. It has like these little T-slots in it. You put like fasteners, you can make connections and stuff. I'm making a frame out of that, and I can like adjust where the steering wheel is, where the seat is. I can make it feel exactly like my car. So I'm ordering some pieces and they're taking forever to get here. So that's where we're at on that right now. So, all right, it looks like the stream is working good. Awesome. Chuck, in the comment section on the chat here. So glad I answered your question. Let's move on to another question. Number 2, Scott. With all the door cars winning races, will you switch it up a little next year and race the old man's car? So I'm not sure if you mean like race the old man's car like his dragster, or race the old man's car like the Chevelle that's always in the shop videos. I think you mean the dragster, which is not a door car, but as far as switching it up and racing other cars, I kind of mentioned this in one video, but I think there's actually some value into getting out of your comfort zone every once in a while and racing a different car. You guys in the chat, would you agree? What I think happens is kind of takes you out of your comfort zone. It makes you focus harder. If you're out of your element, you got to focus on everything. You're not perfectly used to how your brake pedal works, so you got to focus extra hard on staging perfectly, right? Or you're not exactly comfortable in the seat, so you got to focus on getting right in the seat and getting alert and getting so you can see everything right. And there's just like I think there's a little bit of benefit to having that outside your comfort zone. I haven't done it a lot, so I cannot speak to it for any long-term doing that or anything like that, but I have done it a couple times, race the old man's car, and I actually enjoyed it. So we haven't really talked about it much anymore. Maybe we should just trade cars every once in a while just to keep sharp I think that's probably a good idea. We should probably do that. Scott says it's a Chevelle. Now, if the Chevelle comes back out, I'm going to be behind the wheel of that at least once in a while. We've actually talked about bringing the Chevelle out, and I race it like one day and he races the next day or something like that. And I've raced a Chevelle before. Love that car. That car will always stay in our family. I'm pretty sure a lot of like racing people have this one car that kind of started it all, and it's always going to stay in the family. You're never going to get rid of it no matter what. That's that car. That 64 Chevelle is that car for us. So exactly, yes, Scott. So yes, if we get that car back on the racetrack, I can't wait to be behind that thing. And local to me, you know, we're under snow out here right now. Actually, it melted a little bit today, but we've had a lot of snow, and it freezes hard up here in South Dakota. So our tracks, our return roads, they get really, really rough with all the freezing. And so dragsters actually have problems with the rough return roads. And for that reason, we're kind of looking at how can we get this door car to the track. You know, we don't have a stack or anything like that, but it's definitely would be best in our best interest if we could get the Chevelle done and get it out to the racetrack a little bit more often. That's definitely on our radar. It's just finding the time, right? Everybody's so busy. Sam McCarty in the house, Foot Brake Nation for sure. A lot of foot brake racers in the chat. All right. Should we move on to another question? I am going to turn this background music down just a skosh because it's kind of loud in my ears. All right. Question number 3. A topic about True Start systems. So, this one came off of YouTube. I'm pretty sure they just kind of want to know my opinion about True Start. And to be honest with you, True Start is something that I quickly kind of decided that I didn't like at first, and for no good reason at all. I was like, what? You know, it's not first is worse, and it was just new to me because up here in my part of the country, I think we're a little bit slower to adopt new things, such as True Start. I mean, look at how many years ago was it that we finally got crosstalk, right? And crosstalk has been a thing forever, right? So, but True Start was just kind of new to me, and I wasn't used to it. But like when I stand back and look at what bracket racing is, what it's supposed to be, it's a handicap start. The sport itself is designed to make an equal playing field. If you have that in your mind, you can't deny that True Start is the way it ought to be. Am I right? Down in the chat, what do you guys think? True Start, thumbs up or thumbs down? Put it down in the chat. But I didn't like it at first because I was like, and I'm even the slower car most of the time, so I should like True Start if I'm the slower car. But I didn't like it because I think when I would go red, I wouldn't know that I was red, you know, and then I didn't even like make it into a time hit. I'm out there running the finish line and I didn't even know I already lost. Or vice versa, if I was a faster car, the other guy goes red in front of me, but I wouldn't catch it. You know, I don't catch the red light and then I basically throw away a time shot. But I'm seeing a lot of thumbs up in the chat. Look at this, thumbs up, hearts, all the thumbs, then they're all pointed this direction. True Start. I agree. True Start is the way it ought to be. All right. Thank you for the question. Appreciate. Moving on. Question number 4. Josh, do you like quarter mile or eighth mile racing more, and why? Great question, Josh. As predominantly a quarter mile racer for most of my racing career, I'm talking like the first 13 years of it were primarily quarter mile racing. And in the last couple of years, we've really started doing a lot more eighth mile racing. With that being said, right now, I really like eighth mile racing better. I like it more just because it's easier on your equipment. You can't deny that. I think that bigger events like the bigger bracket bigger money bracket races can obviously run faster. If there, you never see a quarter mile one of those. I don't think you'll ever see a quarter mile one of those because there'll be more breakage and just the event will take way longer, so it'll never happen. I think that 8th mile racing is safer, obviously, or at lower speeds. But I think the number one reason why I currently like 8th mile racing better is just I like the level of competition. Like, how can I put this into words better? I like having to make decisions quicker. I like the excitement of hitting the tree, launching the car, analyzing a whole lot of mathematics, right? A lot of stuff happens fast. And trying to drive the finish line and execute on your plan that you have been analyzing, executing a plan that takes less than 5 seconds. There's like a level of excitement associated with that just because it happens so much faster. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what I like about 8th mile racing currently. But I'm sure that one's probably going to ruffle some feathers in the chat. I know there's a lot of people that love the high speed of quarter mile racing. There's definitely some good things about quarter mile racing. If you're all about speed, that's where it's at. If you are, the packages are so tight on the short track, and they're getting that way on the long track around here too. It seems like. I mean, but Matt Visioni, I know quarter to 8th, but you know I do both. Yeah. Anybody in the chat do any 1,000-foot racing? I'm pretty sure that's a thing. Like up in the Northeast, I think 1,000-foot racing is getting more common up there, you know. Happy medium. I've never done it, but I'd be interested to try, you know. But that's where I stand on the old quarter and 8th mile racing. Vince. What's up, Vince? Big fan. Awesome. Thank you guys for tuning in. Josh, no problem for answering the question. I appreciate your support on the channel very much. Matt, Project Leftovers, giving me the vomiting emoji. Not a fan, I take it, of the 8th mile racing. Don't even know where the 1,000-foot is. 8th mile, quarter mile, it's right here. All right, let's move on to another question. Question number 5. Colton! Oh boy, I was afraid that this question would come up. Man, since you need a new car, are you going to get a door car? What the heck do you mean by that, Colton, since I need a new car? Man, spoiler alert. I don't think the channel probably knows what you're talking about, Colton, but what I'll go ahead and do is I'll share with you guys what he's talking about. Probably, it was towards the end of my season, but it was probably a month ago now. Maybe a little more than that. I went home to work on the car, making a couple improvements to the car, adding a K&R Pro Stage. Hey, discount code GallStar5 if you guys want one. Starting line enhancer. I've never had one. Been doing a lot of research and a lot of looking at them. Been talking to some people. I think it's a good thing. Definitely hit the subscribe button. Hit the subscribe button so you don't miss content. Look at this side. Boom. I made that button happen. It's the little things I get excited about. Definitely hit the subscribe button so you don't miss the content all about starting line enhancers, because we have more of starting line enhancer related videos coming very, very soon. But I was at home working on the starting line enhancer situation. And we're out in the driveway kind of testing it out, trying to figure it out, right? And the old man is like, man, that car sits low. Sits low to the ground. And I was in the car and I was like, I don't know, tires are probably low, you know? He's like, car sits pretty low to the ground. So we got out, started looking around, and gosh, you guys, it's hard for me to even show you guys this. Lo and behold, look at this. This is the chassis of my car, you guys. Look at these cracks. Oh my gosh. This is gonna get the chat going. Oh my gosh, it's bad. There's so many of them. I just hate looking at the pictures. Oh man, look at this. It's not good. Look, you can see the gusset on that one. Like, we've already made a repair on the front of this car. So this is kind of circles back to what I was talking about. These rougher tracks and rougher return roads definitely take a toll on the front of these dragsters without any suspension. You know what I'm saying? So, oh man, yeah, the chat's blowing up. It's not good, you guys. So my car had about a half dozen of these cracks in it when we noticed, and we're like, okay, this car is done for the season. You know, I had a couple races left, and so that was a total bummer. I hadn't even shared it on the channel or anything like that, but I believe that's probably what Colton is referring to here on question number 5, since I need a new car. But here's the plan, you guys. Seeking the help of the professionals over at LBR Enterprises. They are located in Iowa. The car is stripped down. Everything is taken out of the front half, basically up to where my feet would be inside the car. We're going to take it over to them. They're going to put it on the jig. They're going to chop off the whole front half of my car this winter and basically rebuild it. So next year, we'll be back. We'll be back in the dragster, Colton. No need for a new car, but we're going to have a completely new front half on this thing. Because what I found is once the car starts to crack, you can't stop it. Like, you can try to repair it, but it just keeps happening. All right. Michael, I'd be so pumped to see Tom Gall in a door car. Oh my gosh, so would my daughter. How much would my daughter want to see me in a door car? And you guys, I've been in a door car before, but it's just been a lot of years, right? And I'm totally not against driving in a door car. If I had a way to get a door car to the racetrack, you know it would be happening. You know it. John, you got a guy for me? We already kind of got it lined up, John, but I appreciate it very, very much. Yeah, Steven, it's not good. It is not good. We don't want to look at these pictures anymore. But so Colton says, since here, hey Vera, you guys see Vera in the background? Vera, can you say hi? Special guest Vera on the live stream out here. You want to say anything?
My brother's one.
Your brother is 1. He just had a birthday. We've been busy, you guys. Leonard, we did his birthday party finally. Vera, get in the screen here. We did his birthday party this last weekend. We carved some pumpkins this last weekend. Was that awesome? Did you have fun doing that? First time ever carving a pumpkin. I feel like I did most of it, but was it fun? All right, are you gonna join the stream here permanently? Oh boy! All right, this just got more entertaining and a lot more scary for me. All right. So let's move on. Next question. Jeff, I'm thinking about switching my combo from gas to alcohol. So maybe the pros and cons of switching. Man, that's a good question. Honestly, I'm not probably the right person to answer that, but how cool would it be if I got Trevor from Get 'em Performance on the channel, or maybe on a live stream? We could talk a little bit about carburetors, talk a little bit about gas versus alcohol. I will say that alcohol, I always in the back of my mind, I felt like it was more consistent. I don't know if that's true because we have gas carburetors and we've had a lot of good luck running on gas too, like super consistent, right? But I just always felt like methanol was better for consistency. I think there's less like swing from a really, really fast day to a really, really slow day. I feel like that difference is less on methanol than it is gas. But like just on any particular day, I don't think there's a huge advantage of one over the other. But that's just my gut feel. I'm not really basing that off of any science, so take that as you will. But methanol runs cooler, right? It runs so cool, and I think that's a huge advantage, especially if you run around robin racing, which I love to do. Running on methanol burns so much cooler. I think that's a big advantage. But methanol is hard on stuff. You got to make sure you're leaning it out all the time when you're just like idling around or just have the car warming up or something like that. You got to lean it out all the time. Try to keep that moisture out of the oil. It's just harder on the components of your engine. Hi, sweetie. And also another downside to methanol. Ooh, this is kind of a big one. You got to haul so much of it in your trailer. It's a lot. It's a lot. That's a nice thing about running race gas is, you know, one lap is like a quart, you know, and it's like 2 gallons out of methanol. It's insane. I don't know if Vera playing in the background is distracting to you guys, but it is to me. It's hard to form a complete sentence. Everybody's saying hi to you, Vera, in the chat. All right. All right. Thank you so much, Jeff, for the question. Comment in the chat. You guys want to see maybe get on performance? Hey, hit the like button. Farrah says hit the like button. Let's go. I have a button for that. Boom. I don't know if it worked. You guys let me know if I'm chatting. Oh, there it is. It worked. I had a button for that. Hit the like button. Please hit the like button. But let me know if you guys think we should maybe get a little special guest on the channel. Get on performance. Get Trevor. Talk about some carburetors. Talk about methanol versus race gas. So that would be pretty cool. All right. Moving on. Which question are we on? We're done with that one. Next question. George. Routine is everything in racing. Agree. What do you do when things get out of whack to get back in the zone? Like when you get held up on the starting line, red lights flashing. Great question. And it's totally true. It's totally a challenge. I don't know if I have a great answer, but what I do, I've never really talked about this on the channel, but what I do in my car and what has helped me lately anyways, is I have 3 things, and I wrote it down on a piece of paper. I even have it right here. I wrote these 3 things down on a piece of paper. I have identified what I need to remind myself before I make a lap every single time. Because these 3 things, if I don't do it, they get me in trouble, and they get me in trouble the most often. So what am I talking about? I'm talking about after I do my burnout, and I'm backing up behind the starting line, I tell myself 3 things every single lap. And I have to remind myself these 3 things. Number 1, trust yourself. I always say that. I always say that to myself. I have to trust myself. What does that mean? I spend so much time back at the trailer analyzing data, looking at the computer, trying to figure out what my 60-foot's gonna do. Is the wind affecting me? Looking at all of this data, looking at the time of day, trying to figure out what my car's gonna run, trying to figure out what I should dial, trying to figure out, should I hold? What's my opponent gonna look like? Do I know what my opponent's gonna look like? What will I dial if my opponent is faster than me? What will I dial if my opponent is slower than me? What will I dial if we have comparable ETs? What will that race look like on the track? Trying to figure out what to do. Where should I put my delay box? Should I take any out? Am I gonna hit it harder? You know, you guys know how it is. I analyze so much back at the trailer, but I have decided that I need to make a decision and trust myself. When I roll past the ready line, there's no more analyzing, there's no more trying to decide. At that point, I have made my decision. Like, this is how I'm going to run the race, because I need to open up that brain capacity to actually execute, right? So that's what I do. I have to remind myself to trust myself. Otherwise, like, I can be sitting in the water box and there'll be some other factor. Like, oh, if someone comes up to you and you're like, oh, such and such, just the 3 breakouts in a row. It's like, look, I've made my decision. Even if I lose, I have to trust myself. Otherwise, I can't execute and I mess up. Comment below if you guys can relate. Number 2 thing that I say, and this one I added this year because if you guys watched my last video last week, you'll know why. I say race myself. I have to remind myself to race myself. Don't worry about who's in the other lane, right? I crack under pressure. I mean, I ain't gonna deny that. And there's more of that to come on the channel. When I line up to somebody in the other lane, I see them maybe as a hitter or a bigger name, and it's like in my back of my head, I'm like, this is the opportunities that I'm looking for, right? I want to be able to race at this level. I want to take my shot, right? And I feel like I have not performed to my highest potential in those situations. So one thing I've added, now I have 3 things that I say when I'm backing that car up: race myself. So I am making a time hit. Until I launch a car and I'm past the Christmas tree, making a time hit. That's what I'm doing. That's all I'm doing. I'm just making a time hit so I can clear my mind. I have to say race myself. I have to race myself. I have to like embed it into my brain. and that's what I'm working on. I struggle at that one. That one's probably the worst thing that I have going on for me right now. But I have identified it as a problem. I feel like that's number one, is identify what your weakness is or what you need to work on. I challenge each and every one of you guys to do that. Look at how you lose races. Look at that data. Keep records. Keep a logbook, or keep a computer, or write it on your tickets, whatever you want to do. But when you lose a round, even when you win a round, try to learn something. I always try to learn something from every time I'm out at the racetrack. And why did I lose that lap? And racing myself is something that I've identified that I need to improve on. So that's number 2 thing. And then number 3 thing, and use my language here, excuse my language, but the third thing that I say to myself is get pissed at the light. That's what I say to myself. Because in my mind, I know what that means. Like, in my mind, I need to aggressively focus in. Like, I gotta get like into the bulb, right? I know a lot of people like get their head cock it up at the tree and then you can't blink and stuff like that. I've tried all that stuff, and what works for me is like getting pissed at it. Does that make sense? It's the weirdest thing ever. But that's what I've identified is most effective for me. Is I get pissed at the light. So excuse my language, but that's what I do. And those are the 3 things I have to remind myself, because if I don't get pissed at the light, I'm gonna be sleepy on it, right? And I'm not saying that, I'm 100% good every time that I do it, but it sure seems to help when I remind myself these 3 things. So to answer your question, George, routine is everything. If anything is trying to pop me out of that routine, what I try to do is go back and remind myself those 3 things. These are the 3 things I've identified that I need to do and I need to remind myself of before I go make a lap. So hopefully that was helpful. Down in the chat, what do you guys think? Looks like there's some activity. I was not watching super closely. Tom Golf, if you're seeing this, keep up the great work. SPLZ, thanks, man. I appreciate it. 14-year-old from Wisconsin. Absolutely love watching your videos. Keep up the... Thank you. Thank you so much. We will continue to make content. Live streaming is the next step for us, and that's what I'm trying to do here. So we're trying to get this figured out. Awesome. The bulb is like, why are you always in my grill? Exactly. All right, let's turn this question off. That's what I have for Q&A tonight. Hit the thumbs up button on this stream if you enjoyed that. And yeah, also, what do you guys think? Let me know in the stream. What is the quality of the video? Like, I know I'm on my big camera, so it should be better than like a webcam, but I'm curious to know if it's very clear. I got it down to 720p, and I got my bitrate kind of low because my internet kind of sucks. I'm getting a lot better internet, and it'll be a little bit better, but does it look good, or does it look kind of muddy? I'd like to have your guys' opinion on that, but all right. Looks like we got one more question coming in here on the chat. I have a 13-second street strip car I've been racing, but I've been looking into getting a dragster. I found one I want to look at an hour away. Question is, what would I look for when buying a dragster? Oh, good question. I think probably the most important thing, well, first of all, I probably wouldn't get a hardtail, just from this safety perspective, is I would make sure it has suspension. Obviously, you don't want to look at the cracks I have on my car. I have suspension on the back, and I still have those kind of cracks. So I wouldn't get anything that's not a suspended dragster. Additionally, though, I think the most important thing would be your comfort and visibility in the car, right? So I would say that's the most critical pieces of it. Sit in the car. Do you feel comfortable? A lot of cars sit way back at an angle like this. A lot of them sit a little bit more straight up. What do you prefer? Try to identify what you prefer and then buy a car based off of that. How well can you see out of the car? And make sure you can see up out of the side, see out of the front. You guys know, I think those are the most critical things when looking at a dragster. Make sure you're comfortable in there. You get a big enough cage, things like that. I think that and is the engine compartment big enough? That's the other thing. I'm mostly speaking from my own experience right now, because in my car the engine compartment is so short. It's hard to fit a lot of stuff in there, you guys. So that would be what I would look for when buying a car. Like comfort Engine compartment's got to have suspension. That's where I'm at on that. All right. I think I'm going to shut it down here. We're at 43 minutes, and holy smokes, I appreciate you guys so much for tuning in. Let me know in the comments, what'd you guys think about the stream? Let me know over on Facebook. Send me a message. What are ideas that you guys have to make the stream better? What went well? What didn't go well? This is my first ever time trying to do this. I'm hoping that it looks good on your guys' end. Was it freezing up a lot? I'd love to know that. I'll probably have to go back and watch this 45-minute thing just because of my curiosity. I'll have to know how it went. But definitely make sure you guys check out the GallStar TV swag shop. I have a little bit of inventory left on the 2020 designs. That's one way that you can support the channel. All of the money that we make off of merchandise basically goes right back into this channel to get equipment, to do live streams, to get camera gear, to basically justify the amount of work we put into these videos. And we do appreciate every little bit of that support so much. So check out the GallStar TV swag shop if you have not already. Christmas shopping, might need to start thinking about it. Get it done, get it out of the way. GallStar TV swag shop. I put a little link to that, or a little message about that in the chat there too. So definitely hit the like button if you enjoyed this stream. And yeah, we're gonna call it right there. Thank you guys so much for liking, commenting, subscribing, all the things. See you in the next one.